How would you feel about people commissioning artists for art of you or your model? They could do that too. Yeah. Support is support, right? And one of my most favorite things is art. So I like that. I will say I'm a little picky, but literally anything is appreciated. So I feel like that's good because in a way it's like a way of being able to market too. Like when someone draws art of you or commissions art of you and then you get to retweet it, you get to throw it out there and like, you know, it still helps out, I feel. It's like a mini ad. It's like a tiny mini ad. I think it's nice. GEEGA doesn't bring down the hammer on online artists like Disney. Nah. I think it's really nice when people draw things or contribute whatever. I mean, I have the art tag for a reason. We have the offerings channel for a reason. You know, imagine someone bans any fan art of themselves. Yeah, it's crazy. I understand not wanting certain things. Some people have like their own terms of what you can and cannot draw for good reason. But I feel like for the most part, everything's appreciated, you know? Some of the best offerings we have gotten have been people going and commissioning like some artists they really like a really good artist to do a piece of me or of like mascots or something. And it's cool. It is cool. Please don't draw me wearing Crocs. Oh man. Yeah, I like one of my rules is like you have to keep my left hand covered if you want to be lore accurate. I just ask keep it lore accurate. So one of them is like left hand always covered up to the wrist at least, right? Yeah, you could put a Croc on the left hand. You could, right? It'd be fine. It just has to be covered. Would you ever draw a line where you'd stop someone from making a few bucks off of fan art of you? In what capacity? How would they make money off of art of me? It depends. Like if I'm at a convention and I see that there's an artist selling art of me, I almost never will say anything. I just let them do their thing. I'm like, hey, thanks for drawing me. You know, and when people do that, none of the money ever goes to us. There are almost no artists who make merch, like fan merch of us, that will ever give us anything from it. And I'm okay with it because I feel like they're advertising and they're just making cool stuff. And I didn't really have like a booth at that convention, so it's not like I'm sitting there competing or something, you know? So for that, I'm like, no, like I'm not gonna bother them. I feel like it's net positive for me, if anything. Like, yeah, like genuine exposure, right? They're like showing off my design and some people be like, oh, that's cool, you know? But if it's a massive scale, what would you do if you saw art of you in a Coca-Cola can? If it was a major brand like that, it would be an absolute no, because then they'd be using my IP for their own gain to a massive scale, like you said, where they would have been making enough money off of it that they should have talked to me and given me a cut of it for using my IP. I won't do that to someone who's smaller because I feel like they're not even making enough off of it that me being like, ooh, let me split it would like net me a lot or something. Like I'm like, I just want that person to keep it, you know? But if it's a large brand and they wanted to use my IP and they were gonna make a good amount, there's no way I'm letting them just do that and not give me something for it if my brand is the one pushing the sales for them and everything too. Like my design is what makes people want to physically buy that thing. It would be crazy for me to just let a large brand do that. But again, when it's like a smaller artist and they're not a huge brand and whatever, like I'm not like, give me my $10, you know? I'm like, you make your money, thanks for drawing me, you know? Then I don't care. Maybe if it's a copy of an item I made, I don't want it. So if they use art that I own commercially and they're reprinting it, not allowed, obviously, it's art theft. But then if they're making something that's eerily similar on purpose, so let's say, I don't know, let's say I have a Boris plushie and then they try to make a Boris plushie as well around the same time frame that looks really similar. It looks scarily similar. Like it's in the same pose, he's wearing his same main outfit, same proportions. Then I might be like, hey, can you not do that? I'm actively selling this thing right now and you know I am and you're doing it. I'd be like, let's not, right? So maybe if it felt like it was like super close to something I was doing, I'd be like, okay. Or if I have a shirt in a certain style and then someone else makes a shirt in like almost the exact same style and is selling it, I'd be like, at least make something like that I don't have exactly, you know? Right? Like then I care a little more, but yeah. It's more so like if I perceive this person, right, like trying to take advantage heavily, then I might care. But if I feel like it's just someone doing their thing and they just chose to draw me because they just enjoy me, they're just being supportive, they're not making $1 million, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm probably not gonna ever care. If anything, it's flattering. It's really nice. I get really excited when I see like, we do convention walkarounds and I see someone make merch of me. They have a little keychain of me or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Like, it's just a positive thing, in my opinion. What's your opinion on not safe for work fan art? I understand a lot of people aren't okay with that. Yeah, there's a lot that don't like it. I personally, it's a no from me. It's just a no. That's why I don't have a not safe for work art tag. I'm not even like, oh, just put it here. I'm like, just don't do it. If anyone does it, I just consider it's not canon and you know, whatever. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But for me, yeah, it's like my official stance is just no thanks on that. There's so many other people you could draw or characters or people who actively like that sort of thing or like sell that kind of content for sure. If Boris became the next Labubu, GEEGA needs a cut. Oh, yeah. Oh, could you imagine? No, I don't think people would ever like Boris's design enough for him to get laboo-booed unless like a random celebrity gave everyone FOMO about it. But you have to have like the influencer pick up on that. You said even the VTubers that are cool with it, they usually silo it off to its own thing, not meant to be mixed in with the normal art. Yeah, well, because there's also the idea too of like, if you look like you make that part of your brand, even if you're not doing it, but other people are drawing it and you're like accepting of it, there are a lot of sponsors who won't work with you because they think like you're that kind of creator, or they feel like you're indirectly promoting or directly promoting that kind of content. So that is why, yeah, a lot of people will, whether they approve of it or not, you know, even if they do approve of it, they'll still keep it separate from their actual accounts, and they'll have their own tag for it that they don't put in their bio and like all these things, because it can really turn off sponsors. So yeah, they have to make sure they look like they're specifically not being like, yeah, this is part of my brand, you know. The existence of it isn't the problem so much as making sure that they're not interacting with it a certain way, you know. I always wonder what goes through someone's head if I see somebody be like, I don't allow this, and then someone else draws them anyway, knowing that that person doesn't allow it. Then I'm like, that person's just being awful at that point, right? Like they're just doing it on purpose. That's weird. I never knew what to think of that, other than it's just, that's weird. Right? And what can you do at that point? Those types are like, they're looking for some reaction or something at that point, right? You just have to ignore it. So I'm sure plenty of people assume you're like someone's OC and not a streamer. Yeah, that happens to a lot of us. If you're not like in the art sphere as a character that gets drawn a lot, and then someone sees one piece of art of you, if they don't know you're a streamer, they don't know anything about you, sometimes, yeah, they think you're an OC. and they think that maybe you're a character that does not have a person behind it as the personality of it. They think it's just a character, which when it's just a character and there's no real big personal connection to it, then it's usually like all bets are off and people can just draw them doing whatever, it doesn't matter. But when it's a VTuber, there's a person behind it. And while it's not literally you, it's still a representation of an entire person, you know? So that's why like it can be a little dicey on like how people feel. That's why some people do like not want that, because it's not like it's you, but it isn't you. And we all know logically like it's not the same as like deep faking a person. You know, like I don't think anyone's trying to claim that, but yeah, it's your brand, and it's people hear your voice come out of this. Everything that this says is something that you came up with. You are alive being this, and some people don't act like a character at all. This is just them, you know. So at that point, it's a thing where I'm like, I understand people being more attached to the idea of like, dude, do draw this, don't draw that. Do draw this, don't draw that. You know, it's about respect. Yeah, that too. And you talked about this the other day watching Comic Kit walk around. Nowadays, every anime character, I don't know, could be someone's VTuber. Yeah, right. Like if you just see it, it might not just be from a show. Another voice coming out of GEEGA would feel off for sure. Yeah, like if you're a viewer, you see me and you're like, that's GEEGA, and that's a person. It's a visual representation, but that's a person, right? Whereas you see a character from a show, that's a character from a show. Yeah, there's a VA behind it, but they're written lines. A person is acting, a person is becoming the character, not the other way around, right? With VTubing, the character becomes them in a way. So it's interesting. You said before you got into VTubers, you thought Gura was an anime character and got annoyed that there wasn't an anime for this cool looking shark girl. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people just don't know. They just don't know. I think a lot of people felt that way. Like Supersonico even was never like a VTuber. It was never a person that was behind it, right? It was just something an artist made and a company owned. It was an IP. It was a brand. And it was this cool character that a lot of people liked, but she wasn't from a show or anything. She wasn't from anything. She was just a character. She was no C. and it became like one of the biggest IPs, one of the most purchased characters as far as like models and figures go. Really interesting. But that didn't have a proper voiced character from a show behind it, nor did it have a VTuber like entire personality behind it. It had nothing.